afternoon. This is Michael Passmore, the senior minister at Central Christian Church in downtown San Antonio. I'm preparing to deliver to you our devotion for the 10th day of February 2021. As we continue in our journey, we plan on still producing videos on Wednesdays of a devotional nature and then on Sundays regarding the text directly for the sermon that is going to be preached as we meet face to face in the sanctuary. And for those who are unable to, we want to share part of the message and the thoughts that we have as a church family. Today we're thinking about the transfiguration of Jesus up on the mountain. The geographical location of the mountain is not known. Many people have in tradition assigned it to Mount Tabor. It is the story of Jesus taking with him Peter and James and John up on a mountain to pray. The story is found in the Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and also alluded to in 2 Peter, the first chapter, verses 16 through 18. It is a story of the journey up on a mountain, and Jesus is changed before the disciples' eyes, except for in the Gospel according to Luke. In the Gospel of Luke, we are told that Peter and the disciples with him, James and John, became heavy with sleep, and they virtually missed the show. Mark's gospel gives us a clear indication that they watched, and Matthew's too, but in Luke's gospel, they fell asleep. Sleeping often reminds me of one of our nation's most famous sleepers of all time. It was a part of Washington Irving's short story written in 1819, the story about Rip Van Winkle. Rip was a Dutch-American villager in colonial America. He got lost in the woods with his dog Wolf. They had gone into the woods to escape the nagging of Rip Van Winkle's wife. We don't want to get into the chauvinism or of that. It's just in a story that was written a long, long time ago. While in the woods, he meets up with a mysterious Dutchman, hears his name called, joined with others in the woods, drinks their liquor, and falls asleep in the Catskill Mountains. But when Rip Van Winkle awakes, it is 20 years later. That's a long nap. And he awoke to a changed world. He had missed the American Revolution. When he went to sleep, King George III was on the throne of England, and he was loyal to the throne. And he woke up. George Washington was the president, and Rip Van Winkle was an American citizen. He slept through the revolution and was not discovered. This happened in a little way with the disciples. They fell asleep, not for 20 years, but in Luke's version of the Transfiguration, we are told that Peter and his disciples with him, James and John, grew heavy with sleep, and they missed the change. When they awoke, Elijah and Moses were departing. Now, before we get too tough on Peter and James and John, I want to point a finger at those who doze off during worship services from time to time. It can't be that I was being boring that day. I also want us to recall how often in our lives we have had our heads in the clouds, have lost sight of the needs of those who are around us. We have slumbered through God's glory revealed in creation. We have been oblivious to what is taking place around us. When they awakened, they saw Jesus in all of his glory. God doesn't get faint or grow weary, and we can be thankful for that. I read to you from Isaiah chapter 40. Have you not known? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He does not faint or grow weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the faint and strength to the powerless. Even youths will faint and be weary, and the young will fall exhausted. But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. May it be so of us, not only God in his patience lifting us when we faint, but we would find strength for the journey we are on. Thank you for letting me share with you today.